Hi everyone, my name is Muhammad Ismail and this video is about the Burari death. The Chandawats or the Bhatia were a low-key middle-class family who lived in a cramped city in northern Delhi, India. Throughout the years, the family had been living and working out as farmers in the desert, but in 1989, the beloved patriarch Gopal Singh decided that it was time for a change. For decades, the family lived away from the city, and one day, Gopal Singh decided to sell their farmland and use the money to move with his family to the city. By 2007, there were 12 members of the family, all living under one roof. The family made their living by running a grocery store. It was quite a successful business, and the family was going well with the goods they sold. It was not only because of their good in business, but they were also a well-rounded family who had a good connection with the people around them. The neighbors seemed to love being around the Chandawats. It was told that the Chandawats were very friendly and caring to their relatives and the neighbors. They even called Gopal and his wife Narayan dad and mom. That was how close they are with the neighbors. It was a beautiful and happy neighborhood in the town, but everything changed after Gopal Singh died. In 2007, after the death of Gopal Singh, the Chandawats seemed to face such challenge and crisis in their lives. Knowing how much Gopal meant to the family, the neighbors was concerned that the family would fall apart without him. However, surprisingly, following Gopal's death, the family started to improve in all aspects of their life, led by Lalit, the younger son of the family. The family's business had improved and even opened another store at other places. The family showed to the neighbors how well the family coping in such huge crises in their life, and they were actually part of the family, but little did they know something sinister was going on behind the scenes. Fast forward in July 1st, 2018, the family store did not open at the usual time. Phone calls by the neighbors went unanswered. Kicharan Singh, one of the neighbors who was worried about the family, went upstairs to the house to check on them. He was too stunned to speak after he saw the familiar's faces hanging motionless from a railing onto the ceiling. 11 members, including 7 women, 2 men, and 2 teenagers, were found dead in the house. Word soon spread and a police call was made by a neighbor. Even though the police had barricaded the area, hundreds of people were crowding outside of the house to see what was happening to the family. After an hour, a police came, checking every corner of the house. Before he came in, someone told him about what was seen inside of the house. Because of that, the police was mentally preparing for what he was about to see. He walked up the stairs and still completely shocked at what he saw inside of the house. He took only 1 minute to see everything in front of him and went out quickly because he said it was too much for him and he'd never seen anything like that before. The news blew up and the neighbors went crazy in the area, desperately to see the things that was happening at the moment. The police found no evidence that the family had been murdered. They believed that the death were a mass suicide. However, the relatives did not want to believe that it was a mass suicide. They know that the Chandawats would never do such horrible things. Everyone knows how noble and kind the Chandawats are. The family had a very educated background, so the family would never have in the right mind to do such things. So eventually, the investigation started to take place. The police found 11 hidden diaries, and in these diaries, which is full of awful stories of what happened to that family, the police suggested that the diaries were all written by at least 3 persons, including Lalit and Priyanka. The first entry was made on July 8, 2007, and the last on June 30th, 2018. In the first few entries, it was fairly normal. It was only about his reflection on his life, but suddenly, the entries took a major turn when he started to write about something strange and horrifying. There was this deliberate instruction for his family regarding some kind of ritual for his late patriarch, Gopal Singh. From this point, the diary entries became more stranger and the rules of the family became strict and aggressive. Even so, the family seemed to follow the rules religiously. They obeyed all of these instructions, and this was because Lalit, who was the leader of the family, told them that Gopal Singh had come back from the dead. Lalit convinced the family that he was told by Gopal Singh to save his family's souls. He also explained that at night he would be possessed by the spirit of Gopal Singh and he would write this instruction in the diary for his family to follow. The idea was if they follow all of these instructions, that would set you on the path to saving the souls. At first, the instructions seemed normal and it was just simple ways to honor Popal Singh, but things had gone out of control. After one night, Lalit told the family that the grandfather was coming back. Lalit was told to perform a ritual called Vad Tapsha, which means worship at the hanging roots of the banyan tree. 8 days before their bodies were found, the family agreed to the ritual in a room inside of their house that caused the death of 11 members of the family, including Lalit himself. They actually believed that the ritual would be a success and they thought they would come back alive. However, the holy ritual became a tragedy to the family. There were many speculations about the death. The relatives still believe the family was murdered, but so far they have been unable to find the truth and a motive for the murder. The psychologists see the death as a result of shared psychotic disorder in which members of the family blindly trust and follow the instructions without a question. They believe that Lalit has suffered from a delusional disorder. The tragedy was seemed to be haunting the neighbors, and the area of the house was left untouched a few days after the case closed. But after almost a year, everything became normal and everyone had moved on to start a new chapter of their life. So, in a conclusion, I believe that this incident taught us how important to have a better connection in our society. It's not just about taking care of each other or being kind towards another. We also need to be aware of the surroundings on what is happening in our society. In other words, we need to have an interconnection in our society, especially regarding of our mental health. We need to make an awareness to the society on how important to take care of our mental health as much as any other health issue in the society.